Detailed explanation of the human ear for Neet preparation headphone. The human ear is a complex organ responsible for hearing, audition, and balance, equilibrium. It converts sound waves into electrical signals and sends them to the brain for interpretation. The ear is divided into three main parts. 1. Outer ear, external ear, collects sound waves. 2. Middle ear, amplifies sound vibrations. 3. Inner ear, internal ear or labyrinth, converts vibrations into nerve impulses and maintains balance. Eye structure and function of the human ear. Classical building. 1. Outer ear, external ear, pushpin. Parts of the outer ear. Checkmark. Pinna, auricle. 1. Made of elastic cartilage covered by skin. 2. Function. Collects sound waves and directs them into the external auditory canal. 3. Clinical significance. Variations in pinna shape do not affect hearing significantly. Checkmark. External auditory canal, meatus. 1. A tube about 2.5 centimeters long that extends from the pinna to the tympanic membrane, eardrum. 2. Function. Channels sound waves to the eardrum. 3. Lined with ceruminous glands that secrete earwax, cerumen, to trap dust and microbes. Checkmark. Tympanic membrane, eardrum. 1. A thin, semi-transparent membrane separating the outer ear from the middle ear. 2. Function. Vibrates in response to sound waves and transfers vibrations to the ossicles in the middle ear. Pushpin. Function of the outer ear. 1. Collects and channels sound waves toward the middle ear. Gear. 2. Middle ear. Pushpin structure. The middle ear is an air-filled cavity within the temporal bone that contains three ossicles and the eustachian tube. Checkmark. Ossicles, ear bones. The three smallest bones in the human body that amplify sound vibrations. 1. Malleus, hammer, connected to the tympanic membrane. 2. Incus, anvil, links malleus and stapes. 3. Stapes, stirrup, attached to the oval window, transmitting vibrations to the inner ear. Small diamond. Function of the ossicles. 1. Amplify sound vibrations, approximately 20 times stronger than the original vibrations. 2. Transfer vibrations to the oval window of the inner ear. Checkmark. Oval window and round window. 1. Oval window. Receives vibrations from the stapes and transmits them to the cochlear fluid. 2. Round window. Releases pressure from sound waves inside the cochlea. Checkmark. Eustachian tube, auditory tube. 1. A canal connecting the middle ear to the nasopharynx, back of the throat. 2. Function. Equalizes air pressure on both sides of the eardrum. 3. Opens during swallowing, yawning, which explains why ears pop at high altitudes. Pushpin. Function of the middle ear. 1. Amplifies and transmits sound from the tympanic membrane to the inner ear. 2. Equalizes air pressure via the eustachian tube. Cyclone. 3. Inner ear, internal ear or labyrinth. The inner ear is the most complex part, located within the temporal bone. It consists of a. Cochlea, hearing organ, checkmark structure. 1. A spiral-shaped structure resembling a snail. 2. Contains three fluid-filled chambers. 1. Scala vestibuli, perilymph. 2. Scala media, cochlear duct, endolymph. 3. Scala tympani, perilymph, checkmark. Basilar membrane and organ of Corti. 1. The basilar membrane runs along the cochlea and contains the organ of Corti, the actual sensory organ for hearing. 2. The organ of Corti has hair cells, mechanoreceptors, with stereocilia that detect sound waves. 3. Tectorial membrane. Located above hair cells and helps in sound transduction. Checkmark. Mechanism of hearing. 1. Vibrations from the stapes create waves in the cochlear fluid. 2. The basilar membrane moves, causing hair cells to bend. 3. Ion channels open, leading to depolarization. 4. Electrical signals are sent via the auditory nerve, cochlear nerve, to the brain. 5. The auditory cortex in the temporal lobe interprets these signals as sound. Pushpin function of the cochlea. 1. Converts mechanical sound vibrations into electrical nerve impulses. The vestibular system, balance and equilibrium. The vestibular system is responsible for maintaining balance, posture, and spatial orientation. It consists of checkmark semicircular canals, angular acceleration. 1. 3 fluid-filled canals, anterior, posterior, lateral, oriented in different directions. 2. Contain hair cells in the crista ampullaris, which detect rotational movements of the head. 3. Fluid movement bends the hair cells, triggering nerve impulses to the brain. Checkmark utricle and saccule, linear acceleration and gravity. 1. Contain otolith organs with hair cells and otolith crystals that detect head position and linear movement. 2. Function. Senses gravity and linear motion, e.g., moving in a car or elevator. Pushpin function of the vestibular system. 1. Helps maintain balance, head position, and spatial orientation. 2. Works with the eyes and muscles to prevent dizziness. 2. Neural pathway of hearing and balanced auditory pathway, hearing. 1. Sound waves right pointing arrow pinna right pointing arrow ear canal right pointing arrow eardrum. 2. Ossicles, malleus right pointing arrow incus right pointing arrow stapes, right pointing arrow oval window. 3. Cochlear fluid movement right pointing arrow basilar membrane vibrates right pointing arrow hair cells bend. 4. Electrical impulses travel via the auditory nerve. 5. Signals reach the auditory cortex, temporal lobe, for sound perception vestibular pathway, balance. 1. Semicircular canals, utricle, saccule detect movement. 2. Signals travel via the vestibular nerve. 3. The cerebellum and brainstem process balance information. 4. Motor responses adjust body posture. 3. Common disorders of the ear. Hearing loss. 1. Conductive hearing loss. Blockage in outer, middle ear, e.g., earwax, fluid, infections. 2. Sensorineural hearing loss. Damage to cochlear hair cells, e.g., loud noise exposure. Ear infections, otitis media. 1. Bacterial or viral infections in the middle ear. Tinnitus. 1. Perception of ringing or buzzing sounds. Vertigo, balance disorder. 1. Dysfunction in the vestibular system causes dizziness. IV. Summary and Neet exam tips. Checkmark the ear is responsible for both hearing and balance. Checkmark the cochlea converts sound into neural signals. Checkmark the vestibular system maintains balance. Checkmark common Neet MCQs focus on structures, functions, and pathways. This explanation is perfect for Neet aspirants preparing for biology and human physiology topics. Let me know if you need a video script or diagram explanations. Smile.